And welcome to this program. Well, if you are following what is the talk of the town these days, especially with the performing arts or with the work of art here in Thimphu, the capital city of Bhutan, there is this animation movie, The Legend of Pemi Tshewang Tashi, which is actually released during the Thimphu statue. So to talk on this, the team, I have the team who is behind, the man and his team who is behind The Legend of Pemi Tshewang Tashi, the animation movie that is being shown here in the capital these days. I would like to welcome Mr. Tharchin, who is the CEO of IBIS Studio, then Mr. Duri Buni, who is a background artist, then Suraj Suba, who is also a background artist, then I have Suraj Subhash Gurung, who is an animator. Welcome to this program. I would like to start with the CEO, Mr. Tharchin, about the rationale or the reasons behind making this animation movie.
Yes. First of all, on behalf of the company and on behalf of all the team members who are behind the Legend of Pemi Tshewang Tashi, and on behalf of all the youth in Bhutan, we would like to genuinely thank BVS for giving us the platform and the opportunity to come here in the public domain and then share our experience. Thank you so much.
And if you can tell us, how did you get this idea, or what inspired you to make this the popular lozey, which is there in our which in the past which was sung as a Zhungdra and also recited as a lozey. So now you have made it into an animated film or a movie.
Yes.
If you can tell us the reason behind and what inspired you to start with such a project.
For us as a young team members, and then for us as a company, and for me at a very personal and individual level, what inspires us as a Bhutanese and all of us is like Bhutan as a country, we are very rich with our culture, tradition and folklore. And then as a company, when we were like really trying to brainstorm that like what kind of animation that we want to bring out in the public domain. So we are really brainstorming, and then by talking to so many people and then by going through the stories from the past. So finally we decided like we will do a story on Pemi Tshewang Tashi. The biggest inspiration to do the Pemi Tshewang Tashi story is like, if I talk from a very technical point of view, the Pemi Tshewang Tashi story has happened in olden times, when we as a country, we were going through so much of civil war, and this guy lived during that period more, where like nothing was sure, and then everything was all about to do with the survival of the fittest. So the biggest inspiration for us as a company to partake on Pemi Tshewang Tashi, to make into animation was, if you really look from a technical point of view, it really has all the elements of the storytelling. The reason why I tell like Pemi Tshewang Tashi has the storytelling elements is like, in his story, we have a drama, we have emotion, and then we have this conflict. And then Pemi Tshewang Tashi's story is such a story like where he has a personal conflict and where he fights at his very personal levels. The personal conflict and the personal fight that he has throughout his journey is, on one side, he has a huge love towards his family. On the other side, he is such a beloved character in a community and the people that who like really knows him. On the other side, he has a huge sense of duty that he has to fulfill. So in this story, what actually happens is like he's caught in a personal conflict and a dilemma, whether to go to a war or not. But at the end, his duty supersedes, and then he finally goes to a war. So for us as a company, that was the biggest inspiration. And then even if we talk in the current conditions and current context, we can, like all of us, like Bhutanese people, we can very much relate to Pemi Tshewang Tashi stories with the kind of life that we have as of now. Like all of us can relate to say Jumedila. The reason is all of us, like on the one side, when we work at the office, we have a huge duty which we have to do with so much commitment and dedication. and put our heart and soul. But on the other side, we have like family obligations we have to take care of. So in between these two, like all of us at a very individual, at a personal level, we fight this battle all the day. For this reason, we thought, why don't we bring this kind of olden story into a public forum with whatever we can do to the best of our abilities. We brought it in the form of animation. Thank you so much.
Still, why into an animation or animated instead of making it into a commercial or the conventional film?
For us as a company, we started this company in the year 2014. So when we started, even before starting the company, since I founded the company, I had a dream of telling a story. For us as a company, animation is just one medium. And then if we really look at in the industry, in our Bhutan, in our country, we know like there are like so many people who are better than us, who are technically sound, who are so good at telling a story in the other form of medium. So if I mention like through Bhutan Film Association, there are numerous members who are like doing a fine storytelling and then who are taking out a fine job in the public domain. So for us as a company, we took it as a big challenge to go ahead with the animation session event. So my thinking and the objective of the company to do animation is like, why don't we as a company, as a group of young people coming together, why don't we try? Since like animation for now is at the like a growing stage, is at a baby step. So as a company, why don't we invest? Because animation is such an area, like if we look at the current context in the job market, and especially if we like think about the youth and the young people in Bhutan, this is one area where like we need to really be creative, innovative, and then can really express our animal, the personality, the kind of things that you like, and then are about really passionate. So for us, we really thought like by being able to do the animation as a company, our thinking was like it may be able to provide a huge employment opportunity, and actually it is true. And the second reason is like with the generations, young generation coming up who are exposed to ICT and then who are exposed to so much, like compared to my generation and then your generation, the young people that we have in Bhutan, they are like so much talented and they have so much of potential. Only thing that we have to do as an elder and as a company, why don't we provide that enabling platform for the young people so that they can come and work and then provide such a livelihood and an opportunity for them in which they are passionate about, but at the same time, through the works they are passionate about, they can also make a livelihood. So that is the sole purpose why we chose the animation for us as a company.
And also, I believe like I heard it took a couple of years to like, they come out with this final, the animations you have. So how much did you invest, or from where did you get this funding to go on for the last couple of years? You had been working with the huge team behind this.
For us as a company, and then for us as a young team of people coming together, I'm being very honest and then being very genuine. We really took so much of session event. For us, for now, when we talk about this Pemi Tshewang Tashi project as an animation, it doesn't make any business sense session event. By going by the current conditions and the market scenario, the kind of investment that we have done, it doesn't at all make a business sense. We have invested around 15 million in this project.
That's
and
quite
then we have
huge.
We have worked on this project for almost like close to 3 years session. So like we took 1 year to train our young people, and then along that side when we were training the young people, we were also doing the pre-production session. And for the last 2 years we have been entirely working on the production session. The reason why I say like the kind of investment that we have done is if I look from a business aspect, it doesn't make any business sense. It doesn't make sense because as a company and as a young team of people, we keep our expectation and then hope quite low that we may not get the return, and it will really take a long time to get our return of the investment.
I would like to know from others what is the experience or what does it involve to come out with an animation movie. If Jury can tell us, being the background artist, what does it involve? What is there to do?
So we have the animation and the background landscapes. So we were responsible for making the background landscapes. Because the story is not a fiction and it has happened in real place, Shakazi and Wongdi, Punakha. Okay. So we had to, do justice to that while making the landscapes. It's not a imaginary landscape. So we, although we lacked skill, we educated ourselves on the job in whichever way possible, like reading, going to YouTube, really trying to improve our skill. We were, I think, all of us were aware that we lacked the technical skill. We were not like at that level, But I just think that we didn't give up. Went through the mental and physical.
But as a BG artist, what do you really have to do?
As
like
a BG
you are
artist,
saying, you did the landscape, the background. Did you have to visit only for drawing the Shakaji, where this story is said to have happened?
We had to take, I did go and visit the places. I went to Shakazi, couldn't spend much time, but really to get the feel of the place where Pemi Tshewang Tashi, like he lived once upon a time, and just get that feel, that mountain and that tree, which meant a lot to him, and that whole place, for which he was always longing to, return to. So it was a special place for him, and it was important that we, had to connect with that, his emotions, in order to really like put in, our heart and soul in the work and kind of like get that on the screen, why it was close to him, what it meant to him. So through our BG work, through our paintings and all, we wanted to represent that, bring out that beauty in the place.
Okay, now Suraj, what about you? Your experience into making this animation, The Legend of Pemi Tshewang Tashi?
So mine was like when I joined this IBS company, the sir and the group, they have already started the project. So technically I was like joined like more than a year. So sir has been working like about 2 years. So when I joined and all, I have talked with sir. It took 2 interviews. First interview like didn't work so well. I was thinking like, okay, he maybe is playing around the bush. It's not so serious because the vision he had was beyond practicality. So like I just gave up. Second time he called, and then I got what he meant. Like I listened to him. I like tried to indulge in his vision. Then second thing what he did to me was like try doing some BG. Then I told sir, like actually like I never painted in my life. I can do animation because I have done this before. Then he said like try it once. If it doesn't work, then we'll figure it out. And then I kept trying and trying. It didn't come out. So thankfully sir had patience to bear me for a long time. But there was two people who I actually thank. That's like Ri, who really consulted, and one more guy, Zhungdra, who really helped with the coloring, the proportions and all. So it carried away. But the main experience which I remember at the end of the project is the journey, the whole member, how they sacrifice all those personal things, how they complain but still want to do, their eagerness to complete the work. And they have their babies at home, wives at home, but still trying to complete their work and go to them on time and all. I've seen sir in the office trying to motivate us, to feel like make us feel his presence, like having coffee like till the morning like 4 a.m. and all, and we are working, and again when we come back in the morning, he's still there. Like I don't know when he sleeps. No, he wakes up so early in the morning, still like with the new energy and all. So the journey, like for me, like it's like incredible. Like this is like my one lifetime journey. and the lesson I learned was like amazing one, which will be a great for my portfolio also, and I thanks sir for that.
Okay.
And so
Okay,
far,
thank you so much. So, what about Subhash, who is an animator? What involves in making an animation movie, if you can tell us?
Last, being an animator, especially people, when we watch animation movie, we just see as a piece of art, but actually while doing that animation, and each frame, if I go technical,
Okay.
each frame we have to draw 25 frames down. So it's so difficult and it consumes a lot of time. So our young teams and sir, we work day and night, starting from 9:30 to 10 a.m. till morning 4 a.m. We hardly get time to sleep, maybe 3 to 4 hours. Anyway, we just do our best and work hard. And I want to say that being an animator, and I think young people, hope those who are interested in animation, they have a big platform. And I think you can say that there's IBS to support young people who are genuinely interested and who are passionate and who love doing animation.
Okay, again coming back to Mr. Tharchin Siu, what are the challenges of making an animation or animated movie? If you can tell us the status of animation in our country, Bhutan, at this time.
Before I really answer sir's question, I would like to, in the public domain, in the public forum, I would like to genuinely extend my deepest gratitude and then say thank you to all the young team members at my company who worked day in and day out, just with the hope, never giving up, keeping the hope and faith alive that one day in Bhutan we can create something, we can do something, we can achieve something, when the young minds who are genuinely passionate, who are genuinely dedicated and committed, can put an heart and soul in the work, can do something. So for this, I would like to genuinely thank all my young team members, and to the youth of Bhutan, I would like to say, nothing is impossible. If you put your heart and soul, if you are committed, dedicated, and then you are driven with passion, and above all, you have a vision for yourself at an individual level and for the whole, as a public, you can do wonders. So it really requires so much of hard work and effort.
Okay, again, this where do Bhutan stand when it comes to animation? Where are we, if we have to compare with animation internationally?
If I talk whatever conditions and then contexts are available in the market, in the public domain, I will say there is hardly any market for the animation in Bhutan. This can be very naive and baseless statement from me, but whatever I know, there is no market for the animation. That's a reality. Okay. That's a fact. But I'm saying to my young team members, and then at the company, whenever we do conduct a meeting, whenever we do have a discussion over an argument, over a debate, and then to all the people that I know who are like very interested in telling a story, because animation is also one medium of telling a story. I'm saying this is a condition, this is a context, like where there's no market. But I'm saying as a company, as a young team of people coming together, in which we are genuinely passionate and in which we can give our heart and soul, I'm saying just let's think, what about we create this market in our country? We create something which is not at all there. We create something, like where we take a risk, and then gradually and slowly we get all the people in Bhutan and beyond get into thinking, even in Bhutan, despite all these issues, challenges and obstacles, having limited resources, having limited financial resources, not having adequate skilled people, and then works which are done by young people, I'm saying let's change this fact. If we can do this in Bhutan for once, we will pave the way for our younger generations in Bhutan, and this can become a big inspiration for many of us, And then when I say this, I'm not saying because animation is difficult. Each and every one of us, whether it is in Bhutan or beyond Bhutan, it is very difficult to do anything which requires a collective team effort. So when I say animation is difficult, I am not only talking about animation, especially to the youth in Bhutan, to the young people in Bhutan. I want to appeal, whatever you do in life, it will be always be difficult. There will be nothing straight line or a journey that you take. Your road will be curved. You will have pitfalls and downfalls, and you will have issues and obstacles and challenges. Only thing that you should not give up, even if you are doing the work in the darkness, you are journeying through the darkness, but only thing you should not lose the focus is where you want to go, where you want to reach. So when I say this, on one side we don't have a future, don't have a market as of now by going by the current trend, but with the work that we have brought out in the public domain, the work that we have brought out in the market, if for once and all, if the people in Bhutan, though we continue to get the love and support and huge appreciation for the work that we have done, for once and all, if we really do get the support from the public of Bhutan, we can really take forward this animation further.
Okay, presently, what is the support from the public with this project now that you have movie, and also I can see that it is being printed into a comic book. What is the support and what is the response from the public when it comes to animation or your comic on Pemi Tshewang Tashi? These people like animation, or do they understand what animation is?
First of all, I would like to thank my own people working in the company for giving us that huge support, having that confidence in the product that we are trying to work on. And in the second place, I would like to thank especially my close friends and people whom I really know for being with us throughout the journey. Many people have come together to help us in the pre-production phase, during the production phase, and during the post-production. And on the overall, on the whole, I would like to genuinely thank from the deepest of our heart on behalf of all the young team members, on behalf of the company. And then I say on behalf of the young people in Bhutan, I would like to take this wonderful opportunity to thank the public in Bhutan, the people in Bhutan, for giving us all this love, support and huge appreciation. So far we really got the support, and the support has been so much overwhelming, and then is from now onwards, even if though we will have issues and challenges, obstacles in doing animation, but this support and love and appreciation from the public of Bhutan, whatever we are receiving so far, and we hope to receive the. So with this, it will really motivate us, encourage us to go on with our future projects.
Now, as you are saying, there's a lot of support, people's interest in your animation, this Legend of Pemi Tshewang Tashi. But still, where do you plan to take next? Now it is being shown in Thimphu, and I also heard it was shown in Wangdipodron. But do you think you have enough time and place to show this all over Bhutan?
Before I really answer such question, we would like to also take this wonderful opportunity to inform the public that our animation project, The Legend of Pemi Tshewang Tashi, has also come in the form of book. It's a wonderful book. Why we say wonderful is because it's almost a copy of the movie, but in the print form. And then this book is so special for us. Why we feel so much of pride in this book is because we dedicated this movie and this book to the eldest generations, to the past leaders, for handing over the beautiful country to our current generation. And the second part of this book, why it is so special to us, is like we would like to genuinely thank the Bas Bhutan and Rit Bhutan in our country, who really champion the cause of promoting art culture and the reading culture in Bhutan. So as a company, we take a huge pride in being able to get their genuine support, and then their consent to allow us to give away 5% of the proceed from each book session. So for this, So we would like to really urge our people in country to really support us. You know, even if you are not able to
since
bring out.
You are saying there's a lot of interest.
Yes,
I think that is as good as the support you are hoping for.
Yes. So even if you are not able to bring the movie to their Dzongkhag soon, but soon the books will be available in their respective Dzongkhag.
Did you receive any comments on this Pemi Tshewang Tashi that you appreciated or otherwise?
I think because the expectations have been very low, our old works, compared to our old works, I mean they've watched it and they know the quality. But this time around, we worked 100 times more harder and put in everything. Because the expectations were low, so the reaction was just it was amazing because they didn't expect that. They didn't expect that quality. And they came to know that, okay, what you guys were doing in the office, staying late night and really like not taking the weekends off and all. They really understood that. So this is what you guys were doing. And we are aware that still there's a lot more to be done in the movie. It's not, we won't say it's perfect, but we put our 100% like honest effort to really do to the best of our ability what we could do. With whatever skill level that we have, we tried to do that, and they really appreciated that, because everybody, the general reaction is that it's way above their expectation, although we know that we still have to work a lot harder.
Okay, Suraj, where do you think you need to make improvements in this animation now? It is actually released and shown to the public. It is in the public domain now. People are watching it. But from your experience, do you think you need to work certain places, you need to improve? Is there such a feeling after the post-production?
That's the 100%. Like we have like always thought like we'll do our best, but like our best is not always enough in the creative field. There's always the room for improvement. So if we see our product, it's like so standard, so fine, but still we know like we have some things to do over there. So this is just a first project in iBus, like in the large scale. So from our perspective, it's like so like good. Like right now, it's like it's our pride only. So, but next movie onwards, like we will try to increase our bar even more. So there, like people could really find out that what we can improve on.
Okay, Subhash, this making an animation technically, like speaking, it must be same everywhere. But is there any specialty or anything different that the Bhutanese animation or animators have to work on?
We need a lot of practice and training to improve our skill, and after through work only we get skills and we get experience how to work on that thing and how to push ourselves. I think as being an animator, I need to say that we need some time and some room to improve. And I think if we have lots of training, if we get lots of training how to improve, and actually 2D and 3D is different. 2D we have to work and we have to draw each frame, and 3D if the model is created, then it's easy to animate. So I'm saying that do lots of practice and then improve yourself. But
if you have to make another animation, do you think you can make it better from this?
Yeah. Yes, sure, definitely. I will say that 100%. If we have new project or something like that, and we are trying our best, and further then we will show our good work.
Okay. Now again coming back to Mr. Tarchin, this did you have when you started with this animation, the Pemi Tshewang Tashi, did you have any target audience that you looked forward to, or was it for everyone?
Like I mentioned before, when we were really thinking about the story that we want to bring in the animation format, we were really thinking through for whom do we target our story for. And then on one side we have thinking and a notion, I may be wrong, that most of us in Bhutan, we feel animation is for kids. So as a company and as a person behind the project, we wanted to defy that myth, that animation is not only for kids. So by keeping all this information at the back of our mind, we thought why don't we try to make work and then bring a story which can be watched by the vast majority of the public in Bhutan, starting from kids who are as old as 3 to 4 years to the people who are as old as 60 to 65. So by keeping this in mind, that's the reason why we chose Pemi Tshewang Tashi. The second reason why we chose Pemi Tshewang Tashi is, even when we tell a story of Pemi Tshewang Tashi to any person, whether a person who are very intellect, a person who works on the farm, or a small kid in the school, all of them, they really genuinely can connect to the story. So by keeping this information, the background information in mind, we decided, okay, if we make Pemi Tshewang Tashi story and then bring it out in the form of animation, and then also from the other way around, when we started doing Pemi Tshewang Tashi story during the pre-production phase, so since we wanted to cater to the larger audience, the kind of character style and then kind of busy style and the overall the animation style that we brought was, okay, let's bring something which is not too cartoonic, let's bring something which is not too realistic, somewhere in the middle. So by doing so, we thought okay, now our work can connect to the larger audience. And then just to add on whatever my colleagues have added on, especially with the feedbacks and reviews, whatever we have received so far from the public, is just to add on. So having that idea to cater to the mass audience, and then when the movie was screened and then was brought into public domain, we are being very honest. Initially, when people came there for the premiere, especially for the premiere, most of them, they just came to show their genuine love and support to the young team of people who were really behind the animation project. Their notion, idea of animation changed after they came out of the movie theaters during the premiere. There was a time where I was so much overwhelmed. There was a time where my team members, they could really believe and then see for real what they have done in the last 3 years.
Okay.
So with this, we are very hopeful and have a faith that whoever came to watch our movie so far in the last 5 days during the situ, many of them, they really liked the movie, not because it was animation, but they really liked the movie because it was a proper storytelling.
Okay.
So I tell my colleagues and my young team members, I'm saying animation is just a medium. What is important, whether you do animation, whether you do 2D, 3D, or whether you do a conventional a movie through a camera, the bottom line and the USP of telling a story is the essence of the story. That is, that if we connect our story to the audience, people actually really don't mind and care whether it's animation or the proper film session. So by keeping this in mind, so we went about doing the Pemi Tshewang Tashi.
Okay, now this animation, the language is in Zhungdra, but yes, are you also thinking or planning to dub into other language like English or other regional language, also taking it out of Bhutan?
So in the earlier talk, I mentioned when we started making movie, we thought we'll only make it for the public in Bhutan. But then with the kind of investment that we did, and then work not happening on time, we are not getting quality, and the project duration really stretched by 2 times session. And then the thinking behind like why we went about investing is we took the leap of faith. We took the leap of faith because as a company and at a very individual level, I took it up as a challenge when the whole world is connected through IT and through internet, and when we live in this global village, if our work is so good, who can stop us to go our stories and works beyond the boundaries of Bhutan? So with this reason, as a company, we took the risks.
So are you also exploring markets elsewhere out of Bhutan?
Yeah. So with this thinking in mind, so what we are now planning to do in our own and small humble ways, we are exploring the market beyond Bhutan, outside the country. We are trying to do a subtitle, that is one, and then like depending on the need of the distributor, we are also planning to do the redubbing in the English. So to do all this, again as a company, we need to reinvest, and then we have to rework on the project for another 6 months. And there are some areas where we can really refine animation, and then to some extent we have to also rewrite the script. So as a company, we are willing to do anything that our work will really go beyond Bhutan. We are doing all this just with the hope, just with the ultimate objective. One day we may be able to create and then promote animation sector in Bhutan. That is the only reason why as a company, why as a team of young people coming together, why we do this, with the only hope, with the only objective that one day we create this enabling platform in Bhutan.
So again, when it comes to support, is there support from the government or from other organizations or agencies apart from the viewers or the audience?
For me, it would not be fair to say on behalf of the company, on behalf of the young team members at the company, and then especially on behalf of the youth in Bhutan, it will not be at all fair to say we didn't receive any support. The reason why we are here at this moment talking to Sir, and then BBS giving us a wonderful opportunity, and then this whole atmosphere is, if there was no government at all to support us, we may not be at all here. The reason is, for the last 17 years, for the last 15 years, our government does provide free education. Because we got this free education till 17 years, 15 years, 10 years, 9 years, all of us are here. Then further out of the school and out of the college, still our government does provide us support. So for our project, the support that we got from the government through Minister of Labor and Resources, Minister of Labor and Human Resources, is we got the funding to train our young people for 1 year for the year 2016. So
that's the support.
That is one support in terms of technical capacity building. And then on the other way around, if I really mention, this is a good news for all the young people who are very interested in creative industry, who are very interested in doing animation and then telling a story through animation. It's a good news for all of us. This is what I know. For the last actually 4 years, various stakeholders, either it is in the government or the corporate or the private sector, many of the awareness program, they really want to do it through animations. For us, that itself is the biggest platform and the opportunity and the support session.
Okay, Turina, now you have worked on this project, the Pemi Tshewang Tashi, which is now already there in the market. But do you think the young people need additional skills or training, as USCU is mentioning? Do you think you'll have to further improve your skills or enhance your?
Yes, we definitely need to learn more, improve more. We have worked on this project with our limited skills, and which was in itself so challenging, and we were aware of it, that we lacked it. So I guess if we have to do another project, and then before that project, we are provided with the necessary training and skill improvement happens for all this, all of us. It will add more to the quality of the movie, or any other project that the studio takes up. So, yes.
What do you think about your experience, your skill that you have now? Do you think you need further improvement personally?
Of course, like I said earlier, like we always have this room for improvement. So right now, like we know where we want to reach. So this is just the stepping stones for our goals. So right now, we could say like we have just started learning. So we have not just room for improvement. We have a lot to learn where we can reach our goals. So yes, but hopefully we can learn fast enough so that we can use it and produce for our audience of Bhutans.
Okay, Subhash, what about the technicalities and also the softwares that must be existing?
Just now, as doing 1 year training, I think it's not enough for us to. It's not enough. I think just now we are using animated CC and hope so we may upgrade in another software. Thinking so far and I think we need more skills and talented animators from outside to teach us and to give some training so hope so. I'm thinking like that.
Okay, see you now. There is this competition you must be feeling. Do you feel there is a competition from this conventional movie makers or film industry, Bhutanese film industry, which is churning out dozens of movies in a year? What is the challenge or what is the competition that they are giving you?
Yes. As a company, we don't feel a challenge from the normal mainstream movie makers and the kind of production they bring in the public domain. I tell this because, but as a company and as a person who have worked on the project for the last close to 3 years, I think this is a wonderful opportunity I would like to take to share my opinion, like what it really takes to make a movie session event. For me as a person, movie or like any other work that we do is the idea. So it is really difficult to bring the idea in the very tangible format, in the form that we can see, in the form we can touch and hear. So doing so, as a company and on behalf of all the young team members, we would like to genuinely extend our deepest appreciation and gratitude for all the members who have been making movies so far in the last close to 3 to 4 or 5 decades, for taking a risk and then putting up the idea in the big screen. So in that way, I don't feel any competition, but instead, we as a company coming with the alternative form of telling a story in a different format, I think it really provides a choice in the market and in the public forum. In that way, we can really come together and always complement each other, and then overall really promote this art and culture of telling a story in a better way. So that's what I think session event.
Now I would like to know from you, the CEO itself, with this, what about the copyrights, and have you registered? Because there is a habit of leaking it out, getting people getting copy and easily they download it or they upload it somewhere, then there's a risk for your investment. What do you feel on this?
Before I talk about copyright, just to mention, as a person, and then this is what I try to infuse the values in the company. Whatever work we do, we have to do to the best of our ability with so much of integrity. And our nature of work is such that it demands that, to hold yourself with so much of integrity and morale and ethics. So for me, yes, that might be the trend, of sharing the work of other people and then not valuing or a little bit of disrespect. But for us as a company, I take it as a huge concern, because whatever we create and whatever we bring it out in the public forum, it has to be really respected, and all of us can really help us, help the whole industry of creativity, innovation by not like copying or sharing any information. Even if it comes to your personal desktop or phone, I think we should not allow it. In that way, that's a big support for the whole industry.
Okay, but for this, your work,
yes.
how are you protecting it?
So I'll leak out my secret, how we do really.
It's up to you. You don't have to if you wish.
Like how do we really protect our like work?
But is there this the authorities we have
yes,
the intellectual
yes,
property? Are they helping you?
Yes, actually, what we do out there in the company is like I actually really like try to convince my own team of people. Yes, whether we put a CCTV camera or your system is locked, or like your office has 100% 24/7, 365 days surveillance, at the end, it's a person no. So I really try to talk to them. I try to convince them, and then now we have a feeling like everybody is so conscious and aware that whatever work that we do, unless company doesn't make it public, that we don't share. And then so far it has been a good journey that we have not leaked out. Forget about the movie. We have not leaked out even a storyboard in the public domain.
It also all depends on integrity of the person.
Yes,
the
yes,
ethics.
yes.
Do Bhutanese people understand intellectual property rights, and this they should not copy. They should not make it into a pirated copy of piracy.
Yeah. Because as a young person back then, I started my career from the journalism session. Okay. I was working in a print media. So when I look back in the last 10 years, I have a feeling, especially from, especially in Thimphu and other areas with the educated lot, that we need to really respect for the work somebody else done. So in that way, our education and awareness about something to do with the intellectual property, copyrights are like increasing day by day. So with government intervention, with private person, with the corporate people coming together, with media people coming together, I think we can really do in like shorter period of time, sooner.
So we need to do a lot of advocacy on this.
Yeah, I agree.
So now maybe we are running out of time, and I would like to give a minute each to think about what has been your personal satisfaction or any other on this project. Turi, starting with you.
It has been immensely beneficial to, personally. You've learned a lot about yourself. You've learned about how much more you need to learn, and also you've learned about the strengths that you were unaware of earlier, that you could really persevere. So yeah, it has been a continuous journey. Even now we are facing new challenges of really marketing and promoting the movie, and our challenges are not over, but we are constantly learning. It's not just learning your improving your skill, just the BG part, or the animation part, but beyond that, it's your product now, and how do you market it? So we are like just morphing into different roles and learning new things.
Okay, Suraj.
Firstly, like the journey was incredible for me personally, and I'd like to take this opportunity to share like few obstacles we had. Like for example, one of our members, Zhungdra, like his whole drive was like gone, like technical difficulties.
Okay. It crashed.
Like it's crashed or something, like it was unreadable. So we panicked what to do. End of the days, how should we solve? So technical guy, he helped him, but could not figure it out. But he took that thing. I think he talked to sir also. Sir have consulted him. Then he took this challenge to redo again. So we were shocked how fast he completed. We call him legend nowadays because of the speed.
So he did that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whole work.
What about you?
Within 2 years of work, I get lots of experience, skill, and still I want to say that we are not perfect. Still we have to improve more.
Okay.
So thinking that hope so we will do best and best.
Okay. Now finally to see your satisfaction, or if you can sum up.
Just to summarize whatever we have been saying, I would like to genuinely thank all the public, in Bhutan for giving us a huge love, support, and appreciation. And for now, at this, the need of the hour is like to promote and then to develop, and create animation sector, and then to be able to continue provide platform for the young people in Bhutan. We really do need the support, love, and an appreciation of the public in Bhutan. And I would like to appeal to all the public in Bhutan for this, for once and all. If you support us, it will really ease us to really like bring the animation sector forward in Bhutan. And then with this, I would like to also thank BBS for giving us this wonderful opportunity, for wonderful opportunity, and then we are deeply touched. We are so thankful that the whole media sector, the public in Bhutan, really promoting this the wonderful work of art. Lastly, to conclude, to talk about the project, the legend of Pemi Tshewang Tashi. As a person, this is what I genuinely feel is not the ultimate perfect piece of work. Yes, in the public forum, I openly admit, when we have done the work for the last 3 years, now we have a feeling that we don't know anything to go about doing animation movies. So we have so much to learn, and then we will only be able to continue the work with the continuous love and support from the public at Bhutan.
I would like to thank the four of you, the man behind this animated movie, The Legend of Pemi Tshewang Tashi, and his team, the four of you. Thank you so much for your time and sharing with us what you had to go through, and now what do you have is in the public forum. Okay, thank you so much. And thank you for watching this program. Thank you.